Fix-It Tony here. We have the Itasca Horizon back. We went on a phenomenal couple of trips, and I will tell you, if you can go cross country in your RV, do it, please. It's so rewarding. Sorry, the dog's making noise in the background here. So rewarding. We went to Texas, we came back to California, went out back to Arizona, came back, and then we actually went out to wine country, well, the other wine country down in Temecula. So we've done almost 5,000 miles in the last month. It's totally fun. We had a great time. We had no failures. Actually, I can't say no failures. Actually, what ended up happening, coming out of Roswell, we had a breakaway for our tow vehicle that we were towing my Dodge Ram, and a tumbleweed had hit it and broke it off, which activated the brakes on the Ram. But it wasn't a big deal. We realized that fast enough we were able to deal with that. Otherwise, if you watch my previous videos, which I'll put in the description, the improvements that we did made this trip very, very easy. We took the radiator out, we cleaned it all out, we put fresh fluid in it, brand new belts, brand new hoses. It's not that hard, a little time consuming. Had to do it on the weekends. I do work a full-time job, so I don't have a lot of time to do this, but it just shows you it is possible. And you know, everything looks good. Like, we don't have any issues. We can see our coolant's right where it is. We're not having any leaks. Air filter's about halfway done. I do like these because it kind of gives you an idea of what's going on with that. But I do want to do some more maintenance to this vehicle. So we're going to go ahead, even though it's a little early, we're going to do the fuel filter. We're going to do the transmission drain and fill and the filters on it. And we're going to change the oil on this. Sounds complicated. It really isn't. It's actually probably easier than a car. But what we're going to go ahead and do is get it started. We're going to get it up to operating temperature, and then we'll start working everything. It's very important when you work on these to get them warmed up. And the reason why is all the fluids are mixed up and nothing's settling, and it just makes the life easier when you're working on these. So we'll get her started, and we'll wait for her to warm up. Sorry for the annoying sound here in the background. One of the reasons we're changing the oil a little bit early is because we need to go to 540. We're in the high desert, and with the cold temperatures that we've been having, the Huey pump, which runs the injectors, the oil's too thick and it takes a while to start these. Anybody who has like a older generation 7.3 Ford will know what I'm talking about. We had we plugged it in last night, so the heater was on the block. So let's hopefully we get a nice fast start here. Well, look at that, started right up, no problems. You gotta love these. I mean, honestly, if you can do diesel instead of gas in an RV and put in a high idle, the sound is so wonderful. I love the way this thing sounds, and the torque and the power. It's just great. And these chassis are built to run a long time. So we're going to go ahead and let this run, get the motor warmed up, and then we'll go ahead and start doing some work. Not terribly loud inside, but outside, the diesels are a bit on the loud side. It just kicked right now off the cold idle. Anytime you let these idle for any period of time, you want to go to high idle. Low idle will hurt your diesel engine. So make sure you're letting it warm up, high idle. All right, so we're at normal operating temperature here. So we're good to go. We're going to go ahead and set the hydraulics on this particular unit. What I like about it is I can raise the back end. It just gives us more room to work under the vehicle. And the nice part is I could swing a 5-gallon bucket under there and let it drain directly into the bucket. I don't have to use the drop pan. I could just take the bucket straight over to get recycled. So that is pretty cool. So we'll get this done and we'll get her into the rig. All right, just grab yourself a rag. If you have a creeper, get a creeper, 1/2 inch. I like these from Harbor Freight because you can extend it into a breaker bar with a 7/8 socket on it. Your 5-gallon bucket. We used our leveler to go ahead and get the vehicle off the ground. And we got everything we need to work on right here. So we got the oil drain is on that side, and we have our transmission, which we can service right here. And again, using the same, another 5-gallon bucket, we can easily drain everything out and not make a giant mess and take the bucket straight over for recycling. So we're going to get our breaker bar on here, and we'll go ahead and break this loose. This will take 2 seconds. Not very difficult. A little more difficult, I guess, when you only have one hand. We'll get that off, and then you can see our oil filter is right there. And we'll just use a band clamp to get that off, and I'll show you that in a moment. So we're draining right into there. It's important, go get a cat filter and make sure you get the cat O-rings. And we always check the magnet. If there's anything on there that looks like clumps of stuff or excessive, you're gonna have to have your engine oil analysis done and figure out what's going on with your engine. This fortunately doesn't have any issues. This is also very, very hot oil. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're draining this. Don't go putting your hands all over it because it will burn you. So this will drain out. Because it's hot, it will drain fairly quickly, and then we'll go ahead and replace this O-ring here and put the drain plug back in. Alrighty. Some people like to let it drain for an hour or whatever. Honestly, if it was hot, you're gonna get 99% of the oil out of here without having to do that. We put our new O-ring on, lubricated her. Let's go ahead and put this on. We'll go ahead and torque this down, and we'll move on. We're going to push the bucket over and go ahead and release the oil filter and let that drain out. Okay, so we got our band clamp. You can get these at Harbor Freight also. I can put a listing on Amazon. And this will just help you. I'm going to need 2 hands, so you're not going to be able to see me doing this. It's not terribly hard. But when you're down here too, you're looking for other problems. If you see any leaks or anything leaking, these oil coolers like to leak once in a while. Is the first thing I had to do to this, which doesn't look like very big of a job, but it is a pain. that was a lot of fun to do that. It was like $20 in parts and 12 hours of my time, because a lot of stuff has to come out to get it to come out. So, but anyway, we're going to go to remove this, but just take a look around. If you see anything that's crazy leaking, seepage like this, I'm not worried about. That's normal. Unfortunately, these two kind of seep sometimes, but it's not detrimental to the vehicle. If it's actively leaking, that's when you want to deal with it. So we'll get this oil filter off now. Sometimes the band doesn't work. So I also have this one. I'll put in the listing. This gets a little more grip on it, and it gives you can use the breaker bar to get it off. I don't know why. Sometimes the band takes it off, sometimes it doesn't. But this time we're having to use the big key. So position our bucket. If it's a windy day, you're going to have to get this thing closer because it will create a problem for you with splashing oil. So we're just trying to do this so we don't end up with oil all over ourselves. Sometimes you can just poke a hole in the bottom. Some people like doing that. But this does the same thing. We're just going to let it drain out. And we'll let it drain for a little bit and then we'll come back to it. Once you let it drain for a little bit, just slowly take it off. Use a rag because it's going to come down a little bit when it does come down. It's right there. I can feel it. And you just want to be able to one-hand it so you're not spilling oil all over the place. You know, diesel oil has its own special little staining power, very similar to gear oil. And if you don't do this right, you can make quite the mess. So I'm going to drain this out and we'll go put it in our pan. So we have our new cat filter. I only use cat filters. They're the best filter. They're designed for the motor it came off of, and they're that much more expensive than buying any other type of filter. So highly recommend. I'll put a post or the Amazon link, affiliate link if you want that, or you can go to your cat dealer. Sometimes it's a little bit cheaper. We'll make sure that we're not double gasketed. The gasket's off. We'll put a little bit of engine oil on the filter itself, and then we'll just go ahead and put her back on. And again, this isn't that difficult. The instructions are on there. You want to give it pretty much firm, and then you're going to use the band to tighten it down one more full turn, and there's marks on here to tell you where you're at. I'm not to use 2 hands to do that. And then once we're done doing that, so remember I said everything can be done with the bucket. You don't even have to use a drain pan. So this makes it a lot easier. The cat takes between 18.5 to 19 quarts on these. Double check your manufacturer specifications. But now I can easily just go ahead and seal this bad boy up, the cap, and then we can go ahead and take this and go recycle this. So makes it nice and easy. And then we'll work our way up here and we'll put our funnel in and we'll get to the application. This can be a little tricky. If you notice, this is a little flat. So you have to really, when you're adding oil, make sure you're not adding it too fast, otherwise you're gonna pour everywhere. So it's good to put some rags down. When you do this, you put the funnel. What I do is I add roughly about 18 quarts, and then I put another quart of STICTION from Hot Shot, and it's anti-stiction stuff. Just because we do have a Huey pump, prevents problems with the Huey pump. A lot of people with the Fords will understand what I'm talking about, the 7.3s. The Huey pump is very sensitive to oil and to buildup. Even though the T6 is an excellent oil, I don't take any chances because I don't want to get stranded, not being able to start my rig. So it's worth the extra couple of bucks. So we'll add the oil and we'll add the STICTION additive, and then we'll get her started. Now, oil's not terribly expensive, but here's what I like to do. They do sell these 2.5 gallon ones. I like to use this for pouring, even if you only buy it once. Even it doesn't have 1540, actually it has 540. I use this as my kind of mother bottle, and I add to it. So it's 2.5 gallons. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add 4.5 gallons. So 2.5 are in there, 2 are here, and then we'll add the difference in STICTION, which is about a gallon of that stuff. And then we'll check our level. But T6 isn't very expensive compared to T4 or T5, but the difference in what it can do for the engine, reliability-wise, well worth a little bit of extra cost. And the 540 works phenomenally unless it's super, super hot, then you probably want to go back to 1540. In the winter time or when in the cooler months, I do have the lighter weight oil. When it gets hot, I do switch over to 1540. So this makes it easier to pour. I can kind of see my contraction I put together here, and put an oil rag here. So as we slowly pour it in, we don't end up with oil everywhere, because that's the last thing we want. So we're going to add our oil and go from there. So the best technique is to make sure you don't overwhelm the funnel where air can't make its way through. Because if you do that, that's how you get overfill. That's why you want to have these rags on the bottom. But we got her filled up. Also, when you get these bottles, make sure you shake them up because they can settle. And also keep in mind, these are 1 gallon, 4 quarts, not 5. I've seen people put 4 of these in thinking they're putting 20 quarts in. They're not. You're putting you're putting 16 instead. So you're 4 quarts short. So just keep that in mind. This is the Hot Shot product. And again, add about 1/4 of this to the system. And that helps. I've really never had a problem since I got it. Putting this in here, when I first got it, was kind of having an issue. And that was 30,000 miles ago. Ever since I've been using this, and this is cheaper. I'll put it in the description for the affiliate link. This is way cheaper. So by buying it by the gallon, we'll go ahead and get this cleaned up and get her started. Alrighty, we're going to start her up. We're just going to watch our oil pressure. It'll shoot up here after a minute. 3, 2, 1, and oil pressure. There you go. So we're good there. We'll just rev her a couple of times, make sure the oil's flowing. We're good there. Then we're going to go ahead and drop our suspension so we're level, so we can check our oil level. Alrighty, so we followed the instructions. Give her about an hour to cool down. We're on a level ground. Check the oil level. We're right on the money. I'm not really sure why you got to wait hours, probably because all the oil settles, but we're good where we need to be. How much does this cost? We did oil at 5 gallons at $20 a gallon, so $100 for the oil, plus another $10, well, $15 if you do the math on the Hot Shot, plus another $20 for oil filter. So we're about $130. You take this to a mechanic, this same oil change probably $300-400. So save yourself the money. This isn't that hard. It's actually one of the easiest oil changes, probably easier in most cars that I do. So I'm going to cut it off here. We're going to do separate videos for the fuel filter and the transmission, just because I don't want this to run long. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down and I will do my best to answer you guys. Again, don't be afraid to do the maintenance yourself on these rigs. It's not that hard. There's a lot more room to work around, and just make sure you're using 1, the correct fluids, and 2, the correct parts. I like to use OE parts as much as possible. So thanks again, guys. Please like, subscribe, and share. Have a great day.